All right, this is our corner now, all right? And brother, there's a topic that you might be able to jump into, right? So the two topics we're going to cover today is how black people are represented in the media, yeah? And you mentioned something earlier. And what was the second one? What to teach, what's the skills to teach the next generation?
Content over everything.
Yeah. So which one should we start first?
Let's start with the media and end with practical.
Yeah. Okay. So how are black people represented in the media? Anyone jump in?
Stereotypes, caricatures.
Right.
They're not based on reality. They're based on someone else's assumption of what we do.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think that happens?
Because I don't recognize any of the images I see on TV when I walk on the street and I see black people.
Well, why do you think they're up there? How did they get there? What is making them actually appear there?
I could go all the way. I could look at a country like America,
right,
and go all the way back to what was it, Jim Crow?
Right.
When they would have a certain people, white people, paint themselves up black, and they would perform in an exaggerated manner,
right,
and that was considered entertaining, and that system has existed throughout the media. They want to see a caricature of black people, which they find entertaining. They don't want to see someone like you or Shakara or me, an average.
Because we're too good looking.
Yeah, they want to see someone who's, as they would say in the 70s, doing all that jive talking and, I don't know, dressed like a pimp, because it's like a caricature, it's not based on reality. But unfortunately, some people within the black community do celebrate those images.
But could you say, rather than, could it be like a smaller group that's been magnified, or is it, does these caricatures exist in black culture, or black people collectively, or is it just a complete made-up fabrication?
I believe it's the former, what you said, that it's a small group,
right,
but that small group has become popular. Right. Unfortunately, that small group has become so popular that people are then deluded into thinking that the majority of black people behave like that small group. That's what I think. I could be absolutely wrong.
What's your opinion?
Yeah, I'll agree. I think more and more though, when it comes to black people in the media, I'm starting more to focus on the other side of the spectrum, which is what we consider to be success. Yeah. So more and more, we're getting less gangster, pimp, hoe, and more Obama. You know what I mean? And I'm saying that, to me, the Obama caricature is no more positive for us than, you get me?
Do you want to break it down?
The gangster caricature.
Break it down for the people at home.
Well, to me, so let's look at the Obama archetype first, yeah? What Obama represents for our community is the highest level of achievement within the system that we're in at the moment. Yeah? But that highest level of achievement doesn't change the condition of the masses of black people. And what it does is it makes us, it co-opts us into the agenda, the oppressive agenda of the society in which we live. So for example, America's been bombing the continent of Africa for decades, yeah? Under the quiet, yeah? They get the first black president, and for the first time, like just blatant, openly, yeah? You know what I'm saying? Man starts bombing, yeah? The continent and the kind of things there. So what is that? It kind of touches to what you were saying earlier. No, was it what you were saying? What the other was saying in terms of kind of like the Grammys and the Oscars being our ideal of success, yeah. And it's like, so it's a big thing for us to have an American president, but we've got presidents and prime ministers all over the world. We've got islands full of them and a continent full of them, yeah. But we're not looking to that because there's something about being the first black American president, yeah. Did it change the nature of American foreign policy in the world? No. Did it change? Did the incarceration of black men go down? Nope.
I think went up.
Went up,
yep.
Right? Did it change police brutality against black people? Nope. None of these things change, but we've got that high level of achievement, yeah? And so I believe that it's destructive for us to see ourselves as complicit with an oppressive system.
So would you say there's anything about Obama that was symbolically good?
I have problems with this thing, yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna say I understand why people were inspired. I think that the symbolism didn't have substance, and so therefore it was deceptive. Yeah, I'm not going to take away from an individual's self-esteem. So if an individual saw Obama and said, you know what, he's inspired me to do that and so forth, I'm not going to take away from what that individual felt at that moment. I get it. Yeah, I understand what that was.
Can I ask a question?
You can.
Don't you think, though, that Obama got a whole group of people to believe in a system that's already deeply corrupt?
Yeah, which is exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, and that to me is the problem. Yeah, so if it inspired a man to go to college and get a degree, fine. But I'm saying that the bigger thing is that this idea is something to aspire to. That's what I'm saying. And so like, I'm kind of putting that before as the more important thing than than the symbolic representation and the kind of things there. Because I'm not looking at what Obama represents as an individual. Right. I'm more looking at what does the American government represent. Yeah,
because he represents them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But in terms of the media, we're starting to see more of us representing the oppositions, is the point I'm making. So we've got more black presidents represented in films and television, black people that are secretaries of state, head of the police force. You know what I mean? all these things are going on.
Yeah, I was very proud of Colin Powell. I was very happy that Colin Powell became Secretary of State. I really was.
Right.
But in America, Colin Powell.
Right.
But he sold us the weapons of mass destruction lie.
You was proud. Yeah, I wasn't because I was aware of what he did in Grenada in 1983. So
did he do good things?
No, not at all. No. So what happened was he led was one of the leaders of the American forces in Grenada to overthrow the revolutionary government in Grenada. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, you know what I mean.
All right. So, but this is what they're going to do with women.
Yes, family.
Hey, come in, bro.
My Sunni brother.
I just want to make people think that it's worth buying into the system, and they need to give you people to follow, be it Martin Luther King, be it Oprah Winfrey, be it Marion, this woman that seems to be going for president next, this white lady,
Lapel.
I don't think that's.
No, it's just about America. But what's it called? But that's the point. So it's like on one end of the spectrum, we've got gangster, pimp, hoe. Yeah. On the other end of the spectrum, we've got American president, Secretary of State, head of the police force. And now it's like, look, check it. I was looking at, think about this here. Check black actors, black male actors in particular, and a lot of them go from playing gangsters to playing police officers. And when they get to police officers, that's meant to be breaking the stereotype. So it's like getting a positive role is getting a police officer. Think about it. Think about what I'm saying, and think about black actors. All of them are playing iconic gangster movie roles, and what their first positive role was it a police officer or not? It's actually a trend. I'm trying to research it more. I want to write something about it. I think it's actually a trend.
It is. You had in Beverly Hills Cop, Eddie Murphy's boss was a black man.
Right.
48 Hours, Nick Nolte's boss was a black man.
Yep.
And I remember back then in the late 80s, early 90s, someone was telling me, you know all these movies where you see that the police chief is always a black guy. And he's always loud and aggressive. That's not based on reality.
And another one is Asher D, was playing bare gangster roles. And then he got, was it Bulletproof the other day? Yeah. What's it called? And he was in Bullet Boy as well, wasn't it? Right? Top Boy. Was he not in Bullet? No, he wasn't in Bullet Boy. That was.
I think I've seen him. No, he was. He was
in Bullet Boy. So he went from Bullet Boy to Bulletproof.
It's him and forgotten the guy from Kidulthood.
Yeah.
Together.
Oh, why's it going in my head?
Was it No something?
No something. Yeah. Right. It's not Clark. Is it no? Yeah. What's it called? Yeah. So he went from that to that. There's Idris, Idris went from what's it called? The Wire to Luther, You know what I'm saying? There's a few others
You're seeing a trend.
It's a trend. I'm going to research it more, but I'm seeing that trend, innit? Like we go from playing gangsters to playing police officers.
So they're saying that's the polarity in the black community. Then you're either a thief,
right, or you're a police officer. And the point is that the police officer is supposed to be us we're breaking out of the stereotype now. This is meant to be a positive role. Right. You know what I'm saying? Get me?
I noticed another trend in this. I was going to do a show on it because I've been collecting the adverts on TV.
Yeah.
A trend that I've seen in a lot of British adverts.
I know what you're going to say.
American,
I know what you're going to say.
Biracial couples.
Yeah, I've noticed.
It's mad.
I've noticed that.
It's like It's like
I was saying that the other day. They're purposefully trying to perpetuate a race war.
it's mad.
But is it bad though? Are they just simply representing what
Well, here's
modern day?
It's an equal representation, though.
yeah, that's the thing. It's the balance. So for
It's
example,
not equal. It's not equal though.
No,
We don't see it as much black families.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you're not seeing a stable, strong, traditional black family, and you jump right after that and you start seeing either black homosexual families or you start seeing
But you know what though? Because I know people are always talking about how we always like black, favouring the blacks. But even so, if you're a white, straight, conservative person,
Yeah.
you will see that decline of your family values on TV as well.
I don't think so. I've been thinking about this.
Yeah.
Think about it. Yeah. Is there still a high representation of white, male, female, married couples
Yes,
on
there is,
television?
There is.
High.
But is it declining?
No, I wouldn't say it's declining.
because it's
Whatever show you watch,
Yeah.
I don't, and I watch, like at the moment, I watch a lot of television, yeah, a lot of it, yeah. I can't think of a show that doesn't have a functional, stable kind of
Yeah.
white, male, female couple
Yeah.
in it, yeah. And that might be the only one. All right, one of the shows that I watch here is The Walking Dead.
Okay.
The Walking Dead is on its 9th season. The Walking Dead has had all kinds of relationships, but a black male-female relationship. Every kind of relationship has featured in that show. Every single kind of relationship, yeah, but a black male-female relationship.
Yeah.
Tell you.
And I think what is
Mad.
the point we're making is like, if you don't show a stable black male-female relationship, and you jump over it, you start showing stable mixed, then it's almost like when does that traditional family line get represented?
It's undermining the...
Yeah, it is undermined to be.
With the adverts though, the adverts that featured it most were like the home adverts, yeah? So like, what's it called?
Food and that.
IKEA. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, sofa on the bed, you get me, like, and you know, Sainsbury's in the kitchen. Like, fam, it's deep, fam. I don't
Listen,
like, it's a lot, bro.
I remember seeing like a KFC one still, like foods.
Yeah.
And I just, something that struck me was that I think like the black family was outside, like handing, like chicken hand and leg. Chicken leg in hand, not sitting at a table. And then when it skipped to the white people, they're in home, sitting around the table. And I kind of thought that's slightly like, you know, it's undermining that thing, like we don't normal, we don't sit at the table, you know, we don't all eat together.
Yeah,
so,
you know the wickedest one that got a lot of people, was a Halifax advert that came out a few years ago, right? It was this black dad, and they had him like he went to work, and then after work, I think he was a football coach, and he took his he was a football coach. So you saw this black man that was a proper real black man, like, you know what I'm saying, like, and at the end you saw him with his white wife, innit? Like every black man was like every black man was like, yo, like there's a real black man on TV, fam, and at the end of it he couldn't find a black woman. It was like it's impossible. So there's something about good black men that they don't see in the media. They don't seem to find black women.
Good black women, right?
Just what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like it don't seem to happen. Just what I'm saying.
Why is that?
that's what I was saying. Because media as well, as it stands, there's this image of the angry black woman in it, and the fact that there seems to be this, and you find it even the sentiment amongst other black men as well is that we can't find a woman who like respects our manhood. You know, they're all like they're loud, they want to dominate, they want to wear the trousers. It's kind of, we need to combat that narrative. Like, our sisters trying to be the men in the relationships. If they are, how do we remedy that?
Yeah.
We need to have more conversations around that. And I think that the sisters need to be included in those conversations.
Definitely.
As well, so they can put their side. Because
So on that point, any sisters that want to get involved, feel free,
Yeah.
I'm not putting on the spot in it, but this is not a male conversation.
No.
I'll make it clear.
But this is called Our Corner. The topic today is black representation in the media, and obviously we're now talking about the couple and then we've moved on. But
you not seen that Australian advert where it's
one?
the KFC one, when a man's in like amongst the black people, and then he, like they're all angry at him, so I think he was on the wrong team, and he pulls out a bucket of chicken, and he goes, just in time. And then all the other black people were happy, like.
I've seen a lot of chicken things. I've seen a lot of them.
That reminds me though, there's an advert that was going around the other day, and it's from China. And I don't know if you saw this one, but they were advertising some washing detergent. Have you seen that one, No. Whereby it's like, So they got this black guy, and this Chinese woman, and she puts the black guy in the washing machine.
I think it's Korean.
It was a Korea. Puts it with the detergent, and he comes out Chinese. Yeah. So, but
Then she's all over him now.
Yeah, but the thing is, I wasn't mad, you know. I wasn't. You know why I wasn't mad? Because she's affirming her man. Fam, I was celebrating. I was like, go on, do your thing. Cause they supposed to affirm me. I didn't feel offended by that at all. No, it was wrong, innit? Don't get me twisted. It was wrong, yeah. But I'm saying, man, I work in my feelings about it because I didn't. They're affirming their own people. Yeah, and I don't fall away.
The only negative is if they're seeing black as dirty.
That's the thing.
That's what they're
trying to do. Yeah.
What takes out dark stains?
Detergent,
innit?
Yeah. So this is a bit of a problem, yeah. But yeah, so I guess what is the solution to these representations? How do you solve it? If
everyone keeps watching the same rubbish, then they're going to keep on going on. It's like when people keep voting, then they're going to keep on having the votes because people are still voting. If you don't take part in it, then how are they going to carry it on?
But do you feel that like a level of control might also be a solution? As in, like, I'm assuming a lot of the people who write this stuff are not black people. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
So
that is right. We need to make our own opportunities and build up from ourselves and support ourselves.
Getting black writers or black people, black media, to actually give that narrative, right?
And support it.
I mean, if I'm going to try to be open and let me not try to point fingers, let's say that if you're not a black person, you might not necessarily know how black people are, and then when you're writing from a place of ignorance, right? So it could be the case that if you don't know how Asian people are, and you have to write a role for them, you might automatically be naive and go, I'm going to write a kung fu role, or a martial arts role, right? So could that be at play here, that because there's no representation in the writing, they are succumbing to ignorant stereotypes?
Are there not a plethora of black writers out there, people that they could contract that work to in order to gain an authentic role? Like,
there's more now.
Because a couple of years back, there was this comedy show. I can't remember.
The Real McCoy?
No. It was one where it was about a black family coming out. But one of the is it not? No. I don't think it's Blackish.
The Crouches.
Yeah, it's British, right?
The Crouches.
And one of the characters was a drug dealer. Am I wrong?
The Crouches. There's
a drug dealer boyfriend.
Yeah. The Crouches.
It was written by a Scottish man. And obviously there was.
But Robbie G was in it. What's his name from EastEnders was in it as well. Rudolph Walker was in it. Was in it. Yeah.
I know there was a kickback, and the thing is,
there was kickback.
The fact that there's a
it lasted like one season.
It lasted one season. So the argument says, I know that when black people complain, you might get other people going, oh, why they keep complaining? You might as well represent them at all. Mm-hmm. So what's your argument to that? Are black people too sensitive?
That might be the thing, though. Is the nuclear black family on TV, does it bring in views? Maybe it doesn't.
Well, can you give me a family on TV where
it's a good point. Is there a black family on TV at the moment?
Well, back in the day, there used to be Desmond.
Okay, and that was quite popular, right? Yeah. And until he passed away.
Blackish.
But there's Black Lightning. They got Black family.
Black Lightning.
I ain't seen that.
But that's what I'm saying. But even that Black Lightning, man has to be a superhero. Yeah, he goes in disguise and does all of that. You know, what about
I do like his character as a man.
Lisa, what's good? Open mind, gold teeth, dreads. Welcome to the club, my brother.
What's going on, bro?
So the topic
is he practicing voodoo, yeah?
He's practicing. I don't do voodoo.
So guys, just so you can join, we started a conversation about black representation in the media, right?
Yeah.
So we're talking about the pros and cons and if it happens, and the point we're at the moment is, do we see black families in the media? So as in like black wife, black husband, black children in the media. Do you see that?
Why are we classing as the media?
Can I say though?
Adverts.
Before that though, I want to broaden this idea of black family though, yeah? Okay. Because like culturally, our idea of family is not nuclear, innit? Yeah. Like it's not mother, father and children, innit? Like it's grandmother and auntie and you get me? That's our culture, like family is like I've got like fifth cousins that are just cousins. I don't even know what the lineage is from, they're just cousins. You get me? That's just what it is. So, but I'm saying it's about representing who we are, innit? That's what I'm saying.
So we identify, we thought we identify as one reason why you may not see it is because a lot of the writers of these kind of mediums are not necessarily black, right? So the question is, if we valued getting these representations, how do we get it there? That is what we're. How do we get it there? How do you get black representations in the quote unquote the media? All right, go ahead.
I would say the best way to get black representations in the community is to be that you want to be represented. So rather than, I think it's the chicken and the egg kind of thing. And I think once we perfected our own personal structures in real life, then we may get more representation. But until then, I don't think we even have business looking for representation. Like, I actually think it's a dangerous thing for us to be pandering towards the media and wanting to be represented. Because once you're represented in the media, then it's easier to hoodwink you. Because the media is still owned by them. So just to get black faces on, you could get a whole black family committing, a whole African family committing non-typical African behaviour. Yeah?
Yeah, I hear that.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm worried about being represented in the wrong ways. And the second thing I would say is, for black and white, there is a deliberate plot to show more multiracial
This is what we're talking about.
and that is to create the insecurity within is to create the race war. That's
What I was pushing forward was, we never got that firm, stable black family before they jumped over. So now it's like you're undermining that concept. You know what I mean?
It was never an importance for them to show that,
No.
and it never will be unless as a Trojan horse. And this is why I feel like when we're dealing with the media, the first thing we need to talk about is how toxic the media is, whether you see someone representing you or not. And we need to get back. Our media is supposed to be.
So it should be our infrastructure.
Yeah.
Well, that's where we're going.
Yeah,
The solution would be to actually own your own media, the media process, right?
Yeah.
So that's what that is. I mean, this is. If anyone else wants to further this topic, because it kind of might bleed into the next topic, to be honest. But is anyone else?
There's more that we can say.
Yeah. What more do you want to jump in?
No, I know there's people around, so I don't want to cut it off before people got to speak.
Yeah.
Especially our sister members of the circle. You know what I mean?
Is there anything you want to say towards the topic of black representation in the media? Anything at all?
And it'd be better if you bring your beautiful smile on camera, you know.
You're welcome.
We're welcoming the smile on camera, you know.
I don't actually watch mainstream TV
Right.
in the UK.
Okay.
I think we need to own our own media outlets, like you say.
Right.
There's no point ever putting your faith in the establishment in the Western world to give you the opportunity to showcase who you are. Like, we have to do that ourselves.
Definitely.
That's a good point.
Definitely.
Anyone else?
I'll just say, even if we do have our own infrastructures though, how do we combat the love and hip hop narratives? The way the mainstream media does depict black people as they do now.
Right.
We could do our own infrastructure with our own positive images. But how do we combat that image?
This is the funny thing, because a lot of the love and hip hop stuff is produced by black people.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's produced by black people on a white.
Say again?
It's owned by white people.
On a white media.
VH1
What I do know, because I've been in executive rooms, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who have to sign things off.
Yeah.
And just like we were talking
No,
about.
definitely. What we talked about before, innit?
Yeah,
the sign off don't come from us, innit? But I'm saying that it's like a lot of what we ourselves are producing at the moment is feeding that kind of thing. So it's like we're looking at the ideals of success that we're getting in terms of behind the camera are still reinforcing the same stuff.
And this, we started a conversation earlier that might bleed into this conversation, but it was the concept of, say, like drill music as a representation.
Right.
And we were saying that there was the brother in Def Jam.
Yeah.
And they asked him about
Leo Cohen. Yeah.
Leo Cohen, right?
Yeah.
They asked him, something about why were you letting so much drugs songs go ahead, and he goes, I've got to pay my mortgage, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, when someone made fun of the Jewish community,
Wasn't
like
having it.
Professor Griff, he
Yeah.
wasn't having it.
Wasn't having it.
So that shows you that having a representation in a higher place, if you identify with the people who are doing certain kind of behaviours, you might actually try to limit the output of what they're doing. So I guess ownership, like the sister's saying, is very important.
Definitely. You know what I mean? So I think that's the major thing. But as well, we can't get caught in the trap of, because media is easier to make. It's coming up with what we were saying before, that we're more because there's more independence in terms of creating media, that the platforms are not still controlled by the same people, because the industry has such a control over it that they're able to evolve, with the time, innit? So whereas the 360 deal at the moment was a way to control artists, because artists were going more independent and creating their own companies and them kind of things there, just what I'm saying. We were discussing earlier about how the fact that our music over here is popping at the moment, but the main platform through which we access our music is still Capital Extra and BBC One Extra. It's still them, innit?
Is it?
Definitely. definitely. The biggest platforms that promote black music over here are not controlled by black people.
In terms of a radio station.
Yeah.
In terms of visual, broadcast media as a whole.
Regardless, anywhere.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Because
So-
you'd either go back to Spotify, YouTube,
All of them.
or, do you know what I mean? So either way, you're right.
All of them. Just what I'm saying.
Regardless.
They're all controlled by other people. Just what I'm saying. So it's about to answer your question, which is where I know Raven's thing is. Yeah, it's about getting the and this kind of leads into the next question.
Yeah.
But in terms of we need more people that are less interested in being artists. And this is going to be a contradiction coming from me. Well, it is and it isn't. Yeah, because man's in both things in it. But like less control of being artists, but more control with being like creators of platforms and technology, and it's what I'm saying, and them kind of things there that can facilitate these things.
We'll hold back on that because that's the
Yeah,
next
yeah,
topic.
yeah.
But yeah, so that is the thing. That is where we're going. But yeah, you're right. Ownership, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So is there anything else on representation? Is there any kind
Can I
of
just ask, sister? You said you don't really watch a lot of mainstream stuff here. I noticed you said the here. So where do you watch stuff? What?
I watch a lot of American stuff.
Okay.
I'd say.
Like Black and Sexy TV.
I've seen that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't really watch it.
Well, I haven't paid for the subscription.
Is there a reason why you prefer to watch the American stuff than here?
Here I don't feel. I think it comes down to like the number of people in the States. So in the States, the black community is like 30 million,
Yeah.
which is like half the population of the UK. So the black dollar is a lot of money.
Yeah.
So it's easy for them to like make those kind of shows. Whereas in the UK, the black population is like maybe what, 3%.
3%.
Yeah. So the money isn't really there, which means that we don't really have that opportunity as much, I think.
So are you openly seeking black content? Is that
yeah.
right? Got you. Okay. And you're saying that, so that shows you that at the moment the UK is not really producing that kind of.
Yeah.
Right.
The only thing I've really seen in the UK is Black Chat, which
That's what I'm saying. That's why I have an issue with all of that
I watch
content.
a bit of it, but I don't enjoy it that much. I just like to see like black people on the screen
Yeah.
and like them talking about issues that are relevant to the black community.
Can I ask a question? This.
I feel like we can evolve from that. That's a good first step. Then we can,
Can I ask a question? Do you work in media? Okay. I got a vibe. I was
I
wrong.
got the vibe too.
Yeah,
I got the vibe too.
I was fully wrong.
Or like you're artistic or they say like I got that
something.
vibe.
I got the vibe. Like,
I'm not gonna lie, but I didn't ask.
Yeah.
What
That's
would you consider? What would you consider as a good image? What would you want to see?
Well, I think Desmond's was a balance, right?
Yeah.
And the reason why I said Desmond's
The Real McCoy to me was superior to Desmond's.
Oh, yeah.
And, no, this is why I say that.
Never
Yeah?
watched that stuff.
Right.
Watch that, bro. Go.
No, because the only reason why I say that is because the Real McCoy actually addressed issues. Like they went in on some issues. Like so they were funny, but they actually addressed some stuff. Like in terms of our community as well.
Yeah,
Just what I'm
they
saying.
did. No, they did.
Yeah.
They did.
You know what I
And it's
mean?
funny because not to take it somewhere else, but it's still within line. I do remember the Real McCoy was actually quite inclusive of like the Asian community, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I did ask when the Asian community got their variant, which was Goodness Gracious Me.
Yeah,
Was
yeah.
there a black representation?
No.
Okay.
No.
So
Yeah.
it was an observation. It was an
Yeah. And
That's right.
Yeah, and I said it before. I said it before on COE, but I repeat it for the sake of this conversation: is that Goodness Gracious Me got reruns for years after it folded as in terms of filming. Yeah, whereas the Real McCoy, all to this day, petition thousands of black people have signed it. Rare. They're not rerunning that thing, and they will not release the content for the people that wrote it. Yeah, to be able to exploit. That word again. What's it called? their own intellectual property. It's a mad thing, bro. It's a mad thing. But can I mention two things here as solutions to this? So two things that I've kind of had the privilege of being involved in. One is an online platform called the British Blacklist. Yeah. And it started by this woman called Akua Jamfi. Yeah. She's worked in the industry for time, but basically people were always looking for like, where do you find like, we need more black writers, we need more black this, we need more black that, and so she was like, well, where would you go if you wanted to find these people? So what she decided to do was start an online directory, so these are all the black writers, black authors, black actors, so on and so forth, and them kind of things there in the UK, and so along with that she started the directory along with a magazine site that basically dealt with a lot of the issues in the industry, in the media industry, and kind of things there. So that's the BritishBlacklist.co.uk. You know what I'm saying? I was a columnist for that for quite some time, but I still love the brand. You know what I mean? And what the sister's doing over there. And there's also Got Kush TV, yeah, which is I'm a director of at the moment. And you spoke about Backchat. And seeing black people have certain conversations. Well, one of the shows that we're going to be starting is that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like similar kind of concept, but having different kinds of conversation. Yeah.
Until then, go to Jedi Online, Speakonomics.
True that. Right, but that's the last thing I was going to say. All these conversations that we're having at the moment, let's not underestimate. Yeah. Like a brother was saying to me that man's famous in Birmingham. He's from Birmingham, and man's famous in Birmingham because people have seen him on COE, fam.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, all these chats, so all these little things have impact in it, but we've got to start organising them more and making them institutions. You want to say something?
I think we need to like marry the tech with like the art. So we need like our people that are in tech, you know how to do all these online platforms and everything. We've got the music, we've got the producers, we've got the actors, we've got everything else. We need to just put it together and start using our own apps and our own platforms.
Are we lacking in knowledge when it comes to the tech?
It's not that when.
And then once we've done that, establish that here, then go straight to the US and do the same thing.
Well, sister, the reason why we try to start this platform here called Our Corner is so we can have those conversations. Now, me personally, I run a network collective that's trying to do just that. So make sure you don't leave before I take your info if you're willing to join me, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah, cool.
But that's why we need our sisters in the conversation, you know, sis, you know what I mean?
See,
so we love that.
yeah.
Thank you for your contribution.
Excellent, definitely.
Trust me, there needs to be a beacon for the female energy store. I know certain men don't really like the female import, but
it's a must.
It's a must.
And any man that don't like it, it's a great.
Yeah.
We're not dealing with them. But on a level though, I think that's one of the major things. In terms of representation in the media, as black men, we need to find ways of presenting ourselves, relating to our sisters positively.
100%.
Yeah, that's one of the major things that need to happen. Yeah, we need to create environments whereby people can see that we can relate to our sisters in positive, productive, and progressive ways. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
I think that's one of the major things. Get me? But yeah.
I was gonna say as well, yeah. You know, like black actors taking negative roles that portray black people in negative light.
Yeah.
It could be like you could speculate that part of the reason is because they don't have any positive roles.
Yeah.
Until we have those positive roles, are we in a position to tell black actors not
The thing
to
is,
represent themselves
I know
in a
many
negative?
actors, so that is true. Like, especially for black actors, it is very limited, right? So whatever comes on, they'll jump on. So that is a challenge. But hence why there is the British Blacklist we're talking about, as well as coming together and networking to make your own media. So the actual broadcasting you do has more of a diverse within the black community roster, right? Because normally you might get that token kind of black person. So once you get that one person who gets that, then everyone else has to wear a couple of.
Having said that, a lot of black actors now are trying to take more control of the behind the camera stuff. So you find more black actors are trying to be writers and directors and them kind of things there, which I think we'll see an evolution of the kind of roles that we're playing. But we may get more Obama out of that as well. But yeah, it just means that, you know what I mean? There's avenues in it.
So let's say, what kind of roles do we want to see people play?
I was just going to go back to, for example, you see the program Blackish. For me, that stands out as like a narrative that is not the normal drug scene. Even though it has aspects of it, it touches on real black family issues in the world.
It's one show that I ain't really watching, though.
Is that comedy, right?
Yeah, comedy.
I've seen one.
Blackish is wicked.
Yeah?
Blackish is wicked. Have you seen the elevator one?
I ain't seen that, nah.
He sees a white girl in the elevator and he just walks away from her and leaves her.
What was the context?
Chaka was on that thing.
That's an applaud. Don't
know the context, you know.
No, yeah, it's something that you don't see. It's one thing that I always appreciate Ice Cube for, though, you know. Yeah. Name a film, that Ice Cube has a white love interest. Name one.
But he doesn't shut it down. He shuts it down, right?
Shuts it down completely.
Yeah.
He, like, I don't. This guy is able to navigate around the thing. I don't know how he does it.
Yeah, well, you know he's had a few.
I have not.
He's dipped himself in the video.
If what you mean in real life?
Yeah.
He may have. I'm not going to speculate.
No, he's been pro-black since Black and
No, he has. Yeah, but
Bro,
I'm not.
He had Khaled on his album. He had Khaled on his album.
I'm not going to speculate as whether he's dabbled or not.
yeah.
My point is that
Yeah.
definitely his characters. I think he's made a point.
Well, that's a good point.
As a black man,
Yeah, that's a good point.
whenever he has a love interest,
Yeah.
it's going to be a black woman. I think I've seen that in
That's
his career.
important. No, that's
Not to say that he's perfect, but I do appreciate that about the brother. you know what I mean?
Even if someone does do this, does do that, the fact that they understand they're in the media and they represent something.
This is
so
what I'm
there's a
trying to make.
responsibility.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't think it's necessarily just that he's got I'm sure he's got friends and associates that are in interracial relationships, but he's just taking a decision. Take care, sister. What's your name, sis? If you don't mind me asking, huh? Antonio.
We'll speak. Are you gonna come back again soon? Okay.
Look forward to it, sis.
Look forward to it,
Look
yeah.
forward to it.
Right.
Yeah. I don't, why is it sisters don't like to come on the camera? We should ask that question.
That should be one of the questions.
Maybe they're self-conscious.
Self-conscious.
Maybe because because obviously everyone gets abused when you go on camera, but women get a different kind of abuse.
Yeah.
So it's just
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Point taken. Point
I
taken.
think
And I feel a bit more
they
thick-skinned
take
when
the
it comes
abuse
to
to
that.
heart. Well, we can just go whatever.
By the evidence.
What I see here.
I don't know if we're that less fixed.
No, what I see here. I see everyone takes
Sorry,
out.
I'm talking about me personally.
Maybe so. You know what I mean?
You say what? You take comments to heart? Yeah.
Who mean?
Yeah.
I personally don't. I'm just saying on the evidence of it, the level of beef around here from about comments and that. I don't think that men are in any position to say that we take it better.
Boy,
than
we've
sisters
got to
do.
look at these people. Are they men? If they,
That's another
what I'm
question.
saying. I've never come to the park and beef anyone over comments, bro. Especially man don't have no first name and no last name, bro.
And to go
True that.
through all the comments.
But that's long sometimes, though. We can't go.
That's
Like,
trolling. Yeah.
5 months.
All right. So is there anyone else who wants to talk about black representation in the media? Anyone else? Anything they want to throw in, brother? Sure.
The point I was trying to make on the blackish thing is the
Yeah.
blackish thing seems to be like a bit of a good representation.
Yeah, I've
From
heard.
what
I've heard.
from what I've seen,
They address some stuff.
yeah.
I've heard.
And they address issues, right?
Yeah, I've heard.
So in my head, I'm trying to understand why is it,
Right.
yeah, that media platform that doesn't normally speak out good narrative has given this one narrative to the black people. Is it
I think it's the environment. It's kind of a very activisty environment at the moment. Celebrity and us.
Hey, big man, you good?
The celebs in her, yeah?
Come on, go do the Aki way. I'm going to do the Aki way. No, the Aki way. The Aki way. Come on, G.
the opposite to the accurate.
I know. You say.
Yeah, like.
All right.
But yeah, I think the environment, especially in the States at the moment, you kind of have to throw bones in it.
Okay, yeah.
To people. Like there's another one, like BET even started to do some stuff. There's Being Mary Jane, yeah, and like it's not a show that I think is perfect, but I do appreciate that they try to address some stuff sometimes. Innit?
What's that one about? What's being major?
It's basically about a woman.
Gabrielle Union,
Gabrielle Union team.
Like a news reporter.
Yeah. I'm saying it's basically about her life, innit? Dealing with her family and her career.
So-
I'm saying.
So if you've got children or family, what do you recommend that they can watch that's going to give them a nice rounded, balanced
I'm
kind
not gonna
of?
lie. See, my
Nothing
daughter
on
right
TV,
now, even
man.
as a young 8-9 month
Nothing
old,
on
I'm
TV.
looking to get into books.
Yeah.
I'm not looking to. There's nothing on TV that I think I can give to my daughter that's gonna benefit her. Like,
Definitely. I agree with that. Books, mate.
Because
Read it.
Blackish still have its
Not
still
even Empire
undertones
Records?
of the white man's
Not
in
even
charge.
Empire
You know?
Records?
It's still got.
Definitely
They
not
may
Empire.
work in that company, but you see white people there. The
What's that?
predominant
What's that?
power- Like within Blackish, you'll find white people in power positions within the show.
yeah.
So there's still that black theme, but there's still the
But that's
white
fine though, because
overtones.
I think a black narrative, yeah, where only black people are in positions of power is unrealistic.
Yeah, in
And
this
we don't
world.
live in
in this world,
on a world where
I don't think a positive black narrative has to only have black people in a position.
necessarily have
'Cause
There's shows like Empire, which have smidgets of good bits, but a lot of bad bits.
Yeah.
You know?
But you know the Cosby Show. I heard that
Careful now. Careful now.
when it was written, the writers they had to pass it through like I think psychiatrists or psychologists.
Yeah. I read that.
Yeah, and had to make sure that nothing in it
There was no stereotypes.
could come back. And that's why it was so effective, apart from obviously what happened afterwards.
Yeah. What an individual does shouldn't highlight whole.
What?
Different debate.
If what happened is correct, then we're always going to respect Constable. Huxtable, sorry. But obviously, whatever he does, we're free from that. If it, yes or no, I don't know. Right?
There's a personal life on-screen character. It's like Kevin Spacey coming back.
What type of buzz is this? The way it landed.
The guy, he was in House of Cards, but
No. What he did is he did like a YouTube video.
Yeah, I saw that.
And that was like a final stint.
See, like House of Cards. If you're a House of Cards fan like me, you would know what he's talking about.
Well, that might be onto this, right? When it says representation in media, we can say that you have people like, do you feel that what happened to Bill Cosby has happened to a non-black person of a similar kind of church?
not yet.
Not yet, but you think
but Weinstein's still getting taken through the courts. He's still getting...
Yeah, he got taken to court recently.
Yeah.
But bearing in mind that his when did his case kind of come up?
Apparently when he won, the real case was that he wanted to buy was it NBC, yeah?
Yeah.
And what do you call it, the higher ups.
There's speculation. Put it this way, it's a fact that he was trying to buy the network.
Yeah.
How far that actually went
Yeah.
in terms of and in terms of why they came after him in terms of these charges is up in the air.
Yeah.
But let's make this clear, because there are people watching this. I've seen this on social media many times. Nobody is saying that Bill Cosby is innocent right now, and nobody is saying that because Weinstein never went to jail or hasn't gone to jail yet, that Bill Cosby should not have gone to jail, right?
Bill Cosby did the wrong thing.
I'm not saying that, no. There was a lot of issues with Bill Cosby's case in it, but I know what I've seen social media, so I know how people are going to think.
That's the only problem. That's the only difference to Bill Cosby and everyone else that admitted they done sexual offences. They said, yeah, I did it, I'm going to go rehab, and Bill Cosby denied it.
But we know this is normal.
Yeah, Weinstein admitted, yeah?
Yeah, Weinstein said, yeah, I did it. Everyone else come out and said they did it.
Well, we know this is normal, innit? Like representation in the jails, and the sentences people get for crimes in America is disproportionate. Like when it comes to the, you know what I'm saying?
Because even that comedian who was like jacking off in front of women, what's his name? Louis something. Louis C.K. Louis C.K. He got caught masturbating in front of women. He's doing comedy now. He's back on the comedy circuit. So I don't think, like, as you said, the rules to black people.
Yeah, but going back to it, like, you know, the main thing, is, like, Bill Cosby wanted to buy a network channel because he wanted to make it like.
So do you think that case was used to tarnish the claim of Bill Cosby trying to buy actual station?
Bill Cosby did all those things. Yeah. They all do it. Yeah. They're all in on it. But they said, you know what, Bill Cosby, you're stepping up out of our reach, so we're gonna snip you now.
But the main thing about it is that they didn't want any black person being in high places to have their own thing.
I think that's too much. I think that's too much of
conspiracy
control. No.
It's just too convenient, for this. I kind of semi-bought into it. I'm saying, how come? Because there's no other clean people trying to buy HBO that they've.
But here's the thing. Look how long these allegations were made, but they weren't brought forth to the police, Just imagine a black man back in the 70s touch a white woman and drug her, and he would have been quickly.
If the white woman reported it.
That's what I'm saying. No, I believe that there are a lot of questions to be asked about the Bill Cosby case. I also believe, though, that man was in some slackness. Because man was living some nutty life, innit? Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't, like, based on what I've heard, innit? And I'm saying this based on things that he has said, that he was involved in, innit? So, like, when you're in that level of nuttiness, things can go on, innit? Like, the lines are already blurred. I don't know the extent to which he's guilty of whatever he says. I don't think all the people that accuse him are telling the truth. But just I'm saying, but like, something to go on. At the end of the day, though,
are they all liars, though?
That's what I'm saying. Right?
No matter what, though, we also want to support the victims, right? So if they actually are the victims, their stories have to come first.
This is what I'm saying.
I'm not saying they're not victims. I'm just saying Hollywood is rife with this stuff.
It's this stuff,
The couch business, the casting couch business, everyone knew about it. There's so many jokes about how it was.
Can I say something on that?
Years before this even came out.
See,
so it's a known thing.
The thing that I'm not a victim blamer, but the thing that I don't really like, is if you were involved in any of that stuff 20, 30 years ago, and you managed to land, you managed to land vital acting roles as a result of the actions and the activities that you participated in.
Yeah.
You then went on to be successful.
Yeah.
And then after a couple of years, you felt like, I got chiefed, and then you want to come out. Yeah. Well, you followed out.
I hear you.
Like you knew what was on the table.
I get you.
There's blaming the victim. You can't blame the victim.
No, I'm not talking about blaming the victim, because the victim is someone who went into something, and never got nothing out of it. If you went into some transaction, no matter whether the profit was like 75,
Man,
so
actually bought the chicken,
you only got 25% out of it. But I'm saying,
Can we stop it real quickly and do some offerings?
Man actually bought the chicken, you know. He actually bought the chicken.
Yeah, done though.
Is it halal though, Maji? That's the question. Is it halal?
It's
I know it's not Italian, because you can't get Italian chicken. But is it halal? All right.
halal. It's halal.
What area is it from?
Boy, from my end.
Man's asking questions, fam.
Okay.
Interrogations, you know. Man wants halal certification. Get me?
Ahmed gave me this.
See.
Ahmed gave me this. Trust me.
It's Ahmed.
South Korean Ahmed, yeah? Hold on. Trust me, yeah?
Right,
My brother.
so well,
This is the last speaker's school already, yeah,
Although
right?
Bill Cosby, when I did the research into Bill Cosby, it looks like he has a background, like he has many cases about this issue.
yes,
A string of cases.
Can I do that? Can I do
However, when we look at other figures like this judge, what is his name again?
which one?
And
Just
stop
recently,
doing jokes about
we had a
Idris
problem.
Elba being bald.
There's a
Say,
lot of
we
accusations
vote,
against
we
him.
vote today.
Who's the judge now? The accusation against him. So
The judge in the US. Who's that US judge? What is his name again? The guy.
So it's sexual abuse.
Sexual.
I don't know about it. See, I
He's
know.
going up to the thing now.
He is at Weinstein.
One of the courts, one of the high court, not the high court, the Supreme Court.
Weinstein, you mean Weinstein?
No,
He just-
No,
he was
Weinstein.
appointed by Trump, Spanish.
Yeah, he was a,
Okay. Oh yeah.
that guy. You know, you
Oh,
you
right,
can
right.
see that-
Supreme Court
You can see
justice,
that
yeah,
some
yeah.
of these high profile,
Brett Kavanaugh.
they are not have absolutely that's the name. You can see that there is the way.
I just get the smell. You're just ruminating.
Yeah, you see that the way that these people are dealt with that these things occur, they do not receive jail time and all these punishments in comparison to other figures, particularly their race, their ethnicities. You see that they're given a harsher punishment
Definitely.
than the other.
But so at the same time, because the conversation that we're having about at the moment is about media, I think that the issue for us in terms of the Bill Cosby thing is, what does the media representation of the issue, how does it reflect on us as a community and as black men in particular? Just what I'm saying. At the same time, Bill Cosby has a lot to answer for in terms of how he represented black people in the media, because years ago he was talking about the black youth them wearing their jeans below their knees. He had a lot of derogatory things to say about young black comedians, young black people in general. No, it weren't. But lightning and earthquake and thunder, fire burn.
No, but he's
No.
true.
He didn't
You don't
walk-
need
how
to
did he-
walk with your pants swagging.
Is that what he was talking about though?
No, but he was cussing. He was cussing.
Man's
like,
cussing
look,
up
you don't have
baby
to be
mothers
working in
and
this-
all kinds of
you don't have to have
fam.
different baby fathers.
Man ain't backing it, fam. I'm not backing it,
You
fam.
can't, but can you say Bill Cosby was wrong?
He was wrong.
Could it be?
Can we analyze this? Can we analyze?
Someone
his actual
Google the thing,
statements?
yeah? Bring up what he said.
But we have to
Wait,
analyze
man will
it
break it
properly.
down.
Maybe you need to apply.
He was
maybe
wrong.
you need to analyze his
But I know what
statements
you
within
mean.
a particular context, his tone. You have to look at so many things.
All of it, yeah. No, the thing is, what he was doing, yeah. He was responding to people talking about injustices in the system, and I can't remember the full context of the thing. But he was saying, like, why are you talking about that for? He starts talking about parents and where were you when he was 5, and describing young black speaking patterns as synonymous with delinquency and criminality in the black community. Yeah. Now, man speaks like how man speaks, innit? Yeah. This is how man speaks, innit? Yeah. If you hear me and Jedi speak, yeah. How have me? But you know, Jedi's a road man. I'm joking. No, I'm joking. Right. But I'm just saying, yeah. Like how we speak where I come from is how we speak. Yeah. Differently. Like whether you're on road or not on road, this is how man speaks. Right. So this speech pattern, yeah, is not synonymous with criminality. Yeah. If man talk patois, man talk patois.
Furthermore, how many men speak standard English?
Exactly, and are criminal right here, family. That's what I'm saying. So
White-collar crimes and so on.
all them kinds of, so my point is that Bill Cosby was being hypocritical. Yeah, and I'm saying that. So when you throw the entire younger generation of your community under the bus, do not be surprised when they come for you and nobody ain't there to support your ass. You get me? That's just a reality, fam.
But could we? So if what he did was correct, could we support him? Like, how do you support such a claim? If it's true, the only support I can give is saying if other people have done the same thing and they haven't been criticised as harsh as him, that's what I can say. But the actual crime itself, we're free from that. He has to be punished. If he did it, right? He has to be punished.
Absolutely.
The sexual.
Yeah,
If he's guilty.
If he's guilty.
But you're not discussing black people and how they're portrayed in the media.
Yes.
What I've noticed regarding black people being portrayed in the media, especially, of course, we know that many of the films that we look at are exported, they're imported from the United States. And what I've noticed, even on social media, from black groups who live in America, they talk about how they're portrayed.
Right.
And some of the things that they say are things like black people are portrayed in a particular way. For example, the black woman is always angry, for example.
Yes.
The black man is like, thuggish and so on. So these kind of stereotypes, when people are constantly seeing the wider community, they constantly see black people with these images, they're constantly angry, they continue to develop, it affects the opinion of the black people. So then when bad things are done to them, for example, they've been shot down on the street and so on, there's no kind of empathy or sympathy, and that is the danger of that. So what I can say is, it is very important now. The solution to this, I would say, is more of our people, black people, need to get involved in journalism. They need to get involved in the entrepreneurship, invest in media. A lot more need to go into media so that they can tell their narrative a lot more in a very strategic way to the wider public. Because majority of the media, you're owned by white corporates. So what we can do for ourselves is educate ourselves and get into that media, get into that field where we can be able to display a different narrative. We can counter these things.
I would say that there are an abundance of alternative narratives being told, being produced, being filmed, being sung, being acted, whatever. The problem we have yet again is that it's not popping. It's not of the frequency that everyone is now attuned to. So it comes across as being dated or preachy or whatever. Obviously some people are striving to be really dynamic with their delivery of good content, but still trying to capture. But I think the big issue we have right now is what is popular is also synonymous with negative, and it's hard to get other people to come and look at this.
To rise above the noise.
Like there's bare phones that are better than the iPhone. Yeah, there's loads of phones that are better than the iPhone. However, it's like the go-to thing, isn't it? Like especially when you want to be connected with the herd. So
on that point, as a solution, I just want to big up a film. My brethren, Malik Sankara, made a film called Dream of Ade, It's a short film, but it addresses issues of police brutality, and he uses like kind of African spirituality to address the issue at the same time. It's a big film, innit? But just check it out. Dream of Ade, by Malik Sankara. So everybody watching that, just check that out. It's a different kind of narrative on the whole issue right there. Do you know what I'm saying? And secondly, I just want to say on the subjects of stereotypes, it's not lost on me. That Kalam bought chicken, to the discourse today.
I got watermelons too.
And Issa as a Ghanaian, is has commandeered the halal right now. It's custodian of the halal. You get me? You know what I mean? So big up Kalam, innit? Reinforcing the stereotypes from 1998. You get me? You don't know.
The wings are gonna get cold.
So what John was saying is
talking like a real black man. Having seen this conversation, the wings are gonna get cold, you know, man.
So when people push these things forward, they're just not good. They're not trendy, not edgy. They're just.
Yeah, it's like it's
How do
good
you tackle that? How do you tackle that?
Me personally, my attempt to tackle it is to kind of just obviously just strive for a deeper sense of balance in terms of expression. So to be like when I try to tell the truth or give my truth, I try not to sugarcoat it, and that lack of the sugarcoating is actually going to highlight certain other things that I've had in experience of life and whatnot. So hopefully you get a bit of my thing is dirty woke. You get me? So
dirty woke,
You get me? That's my thing, innit? So
dirty woke.
It's woke,
but
it's dirty. If you know me, you know what I mean. Like it's not. I don't mean dirty as in unclean. it's just
It's real.
not
it's
that
real.
polished. It's that raw.
Rough
It's
around the
real.
edges, rough around the
And
edges.
According to what we say in the Caribbean, it's wicked, man.
You get me? But yeah, I mean,
Crucial.
I think that's what it is. Like things like the Huxtable show, the Cosby Show. I don't think it wouldn't work in times like now because it was so clean. Yeah.
And that's the major criticism of the Cosby Show, that in a time where like Reagan and Bush was going on, Cosby was focusing on this middle class black family that didn't have no problems and didn't address.
They did have problems.
Not serious problems.
No, but they had serious
Not
problems.
Like what?
You
Like
must
what?
not watch the whole-
Like what? Name a serious problem.
I've watched every episode of the Cosby Show.
Dating,
Huh?
Okay, I think
interracial dating,
But how-
people getting
how
arrested
was-
for
how
no
was that-
reason.
how was that the
They
problem?
covered a lot of the misrepresentation of black people. They covered a lot of issues.
No, that's different.
But it was,
That's different.
But it was underlined in when it was the fact that he would sit down, Bill Cosby would sit down, Dr. Huxtable would sit down and talk to the people talk to his children and break it down to them. It wasn't like in a way of, I've been arrested and I've been shit, I'm bleeding now. It was in a subtle, we'll sit down and let's talk about it sort of thing. You know you're going to face certain problems.
But you
when he was
haven't
going to
identified the
college,
problem.
It's like when Huxtable, the son Richie, I can't remember
Theo,
his son.
Theo.
Theo was going to college. And he sat him down, he talked to him, look son, there's going to be a lot of things out there. And he broke it down to him, the things that he's going to face. So they didn't hide, they didn't keep it all airy-fairy. They just showed, look, this is the strong black family unit that can happen, but look, this is the outside world that they think, everyone thought was at home gangbanging in our house. But Bill Cosby, the Huxley family, brought us, look, no, they can be someone, they can be civil, they can sit down and talk and da. But it just wasn't just all airy-fairy.
Crystal, yeah?
I think we need the Wire meets the Cosby Show.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm trying to say.
That's what I'm saying. My point was, sorry, just to clarify, yeah, is that the criticism of the Cosby Show, remember, it came out in the 80s, 90s, yeah, and the black community in America was dealing with Reagan and Bush, yeah, which this is the crack era, yeah, that's what I'm saying, this is right, all that kind of stuff was going on, so so the display of a middle class family that was kind of above the problems that the masses of black people were facing at the moment received a lot of criticism from many people. Not to say that the image of a functioning black family didn't have its value, yeah, but it doesn't mean that the depiction is above criticism when you relate it to the.
Do you think the Cosby Show was valuable?
Yeah, definitely.
He's just saying that. I think you are trying to say that it doesn't identify the ghetto. Is that what you're saying? It doesn't identify with the man on the street, the common man. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what
yeah?
I'm getting.
I think The Wire is a terrible thing.
The Wire is different to me.
Yeah.
The Wire was not written by us for us. Yeah. Okay. I think for all of Bill Cosby's flaws, he wanted to present something to Black America or Black people. Yeah. And I think that so because of that, there were some virtues in what he was trying to do. Yeah. I think. The Wire, I will put it outside of that. It's a brilliant drama. Let's not get twisted, yeah. Like as far as television, the white man's television goes, enjoyable watch, yeah. Like 24 when the show was there, enjoyable watch, yeah. That was my show back then. That was my show, right?
Jack Bowers.
Yeah, like,
24 episodes.
I bet Jack Bowers.
We're talking like the Cosby Show. Was
them
the only show that
E
was
numbers,
going
yeah.
on in that time.
Might be just for you.
Who owns that company?
That's not for you. That's not for you. It's not.
Why are you discriminating, bro? Huh? Why are you discriminating? Or is it positive? I'm joking.
I'll tell you why I'm discriminating.
Wait, what you got? Sorry, you have sorry?
Sorry.
You have sorry?
What you got in your bag, man?
Okay.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Right?
Real libations. Real libations.
I'm not on it today, you know.
I say.
Put on the floor first. Put on the floor first. Put on the floor first. You know what I mean? Libation, you know. For the ancestors. You know what I mean?
They can't drink that. I'm the ancestor living, so
Where are we?
Is it halal though, Kalama?
No, we gave halal already. We gave halal.
I'm good.
Good? Where the juice though, please?
Yeah, I'll do the juice. Yeah. Where was you up to?
You have to mix it up though.
yeah, Bill Cosby and his family.
Bill Cosby.
I'm trying to cut the whole corner.
Yeah, no, you went to the Wire and said that
yeah, it's a different thing. But having said that, when you say that we need Cosby Show meets The Wire, I get what you mean.
Get what I mean.
I get what you mean.
The Wire, but you know the thing is, we don't have something else that's gritty
From our own perspective.
From our own thing.
I'd say Cosby Show meets Boys in the Hood.
Well, why do we always have to have that negative gangster element?
It's not negative. It's reality, bro.
It's a reality.
But you don't have to have it.
You do.
No,
Why?
but then you just end up with the Cosby Show, which is just that.
No, can't
and
we
then, or you just end up with
have a
boys.
show that deals with like day-to-day issues that a black man goes through without drugs.
And you know what? The chicken is.
I don't know. Like, to be honest, yeah, I feel like when you see it in movies, it seems glamorized and therefore detached from day-to-day reality. And to be honest, when I watch EastEnders, the issues that they go through are not ones that the people in my community are being afflicted by daily. They're the minor shenanigans. Yeah, the shit that affects. Yeah, I got a brethren that's facing 25 years. Yeah, I got an ex-brethren that's just gone to jail and they've beaten the shit out of him. Yeah, do you know what I mean? I've got a son who's
in the UK.
Yeah, I've got a son who's dealing with his best friend being stabbed in the heart and killed. Yeah, I've got this and that. I've got this and that. Get me? I go to work and I'm noticing a difference in the energy that they give me. There's so many different things. To be honest, a true sitcom would be harrowing, bro. If you're thinking about drugs and that being some far removed.
Where are the beatings going on? Is it
real quick? Get me?
You know the chicken is getting cold.
Hold on. Chicken break.
Who's the oldest?
Chicken break. I think you're the oldest in our Calabria. You're the oldest.
You have to take at least maximum 2 for now.
Wing, you know.
Yeah.
Thank you, my brother.
Or is Jeddah the oldest? I don't know.
I wanted some chicken.
No, it's going around.
I'm good.
You can take 2.
I'm good.
Yeah?
I'll take it.
It's halal.
This is not a stereotype, yeah?
This
is not a stereotype.
Don't worry, man.
There's going to be more, but let's just take 2 for now.
Don't be afraid.
You good?
Don't be afraid to enjoy chicken.
Don't be afraid to eat
and drink alcohol and talk about conscious ideas and nation building. This is all.
My Somali brother. Can you get that on camera, star? Like that, the Somali brothers partaking in the chicken in our corner.
This is the type of thing I'm talking about, though, yeah, Shaq?
Yeah.
But if you think about it now,
yeah.
A brother like Kalam, knowledgeable brother, come through with chicken and alcohol.
Yeah.
We're here taking the time out of our busy days.
When you say he's got a heathen side to him.
Our busy schedules, and what we're talking about is actually quite constructive and beneficial.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, these are the type of things that need to be shown.
Yeah.
You don't have to drink alcohol and be pouring it on a stripper's bum or be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can do all these things. I think we just need to show that, because I think people are very confused about what it means to be us. Yeah, not that we, and including ourselves, we're very confused. So you feel like if you're interested in academic studies, you're a nerd.
Oh, I see.
It's not cool. Or you can't do that and then hang out with them.
True.
Oh, you got a brethren, he's on the road, you're on this, so you're going to disconnect from him. Where the best thing would have been to keep him in contact, because at one point in time, you're going to end up being the most beneficial friend he has. These are things that we need to understand. Stop the scaremongering against, amongst ourselves, demonizing certain aspects of our quote-unquote culture, because it's debatable whether certain things are our culture, but certain behaviors, we need to look at it honestly, put it under a spotlight, and have good open conversations.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah?
I believe that.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm only going to trust content like that when I know it comes from a brother like you or a brother like you. When it comes from my man, I might think, not you. When it comes from my man, I might think, oh, he's sold out, so now he's trying to make us look shit. Or where, do you know what I mean? I want to know that you're just doing it for the interest of showing the truth, rather than trying to either glamorize or demonize. That's the type of, I don't know. That's the type of shit. Yeah. Because I think a lot of people get manipulated as well. Good-hearted brothers, all the comedians, all these guys, they get put on to TV from Instagram, from this, from that. They get made famous. They get put on the TV, and they start doing a minstrel show. I'm not going to use the other word. You get me? But it feels like
it's not authentic, right?
You know what? For me, a funny black man, a black man's probably the funniest man on earth. Yeah, in terms of his range of humour and his dark humour. However, when they present us, it's either just all to do with this racial stereotyping, or it's to do with acting dumb or acting less than smart. The only time they reference us is that they say a roadman. Yeah, a roadman. But these men are all roadman.
You just don't know what, like, your perception of what it means to be a road man or have that history is so skewed because we're not telling our own stories.
But could the audience play into it?
Earlier.
It's the audience, right? So when a black person gets like in some kind of like fame light, right? He has an audience. So then does his narrative have to change because of the audience who's delivering to?
I think because he wants success.
Exactly. So that's why could you not have like a black orientated content? Like this content is for black people.
It'd be nice. It would be nice, but I mean, it would be nice. Yeah.
Because once you get to a certain place, things have to be changed so it can be digested more easily, right?
What do you guys think about BET? Black entertainment.
I think they've.
I like the concept, right? I like the concept, but I understand that they've sold. You're jumping. They sold it to a black entertainment.
And next dude,
Yeah. So the content has changed since they've sold it. So for example, it used to be owned by a husband and wife, a partnership. When they sold it, they started having like porno rap and like there was the raunchy rap.
At the moment, the director is a black woman. I'm not sure if who it's owned by though. I think it's owned by a company. But under this, they're trying some stuff at the moment. They're trying to, you know what I'm saying, like do certain things like the Black Girls Rock and
I haven't seen it.
You know what I mean? So they're doing a lot more dramas now, and so they're trying some stuff in it. But like you said, the concept is probably better than the execution.
Yeah.
In regards to BET.
What is BET like? What does it entail?
Well, it's black entertainment television, right? So it's entertaining stuff that is showing the African American or African culture. Yeah. And it's essentially hiring more black people to do black orientated content.
So give an example. Let me give you an example. Like sometimes you may have there's certain movies on BET has movies. Yeah. That is very what is called African based African American movies.
Cause you don't even know ganja.
Sometimes you have music as well. You have some level of music.
I don't really ganja, you know what I mean?
Entertainment. You may have shows. Okay, it's a number of programs that they have on the BET. That's why it's called Black Entertainment Television.
So the Black Panther, there was a cartoon that was funded by BET. So they made a Black Panther cartoon. That came on BET, and obviously it was.
But don't you think sometimes some in some entertainment industries they exploit black people?
I think the majority.
Like I believe that this society they act. I'm from Bangladesh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm Asian. But like, I believe like especially the adult industry, they exploit black people. Yeah, they sexualize black men. You see what I'm saying?
No, I do.
Do you believe that actually happens? Do you think? Now, for example, they will sexualize black men, but they won't. They'll sexualize a white woman and a black man, but they won't do that to the black women.
Oh yes, they do. What do you think twerking is?
What is example? Give an example.
For example,
black men are sexualized.
Yeah, like for example, I don't want to be too explicit in it, but I'm sure like
in Islam, in the Sharia, it is allowed to be.
No, I'm not talking about Islam religion. I'm talking about
I know, but I'm just saying
the media. No, but it's not. I'm not discussing Islam. I'm saying like the media. I think the media they have a thing against black people, and why it is, I think that they sometimes sexually exploit black people, so they sexualize black people.
Definitely.
That's what I'm saying. Do you agree with
100%? Yeah.
And another thing I want to say,
yeah, but I haven't understood.
Well, let him finish, brothers.
Yes.
Let him finish.
Like, for example,
I'm liking where he's going.
For example,
yeah.
Like you have Arab girls or white girls, like they'll look at a black guy and they'll only think of one thing because of the fact that they're sexualized.
Oh, sorry. I wanted to see my brother. Like,
Do you agree with that?
Yeah. For example, like, they look at me like a piece of meat.
Yeah,
and they look directly from my crotch area. And they make jokes about my big willy.
Yeah. So don't you think?
Now, why did you have to use the adjective before the noun? What's that about?
This is another thing that I wanted to discuss.
You got to emphasize. You got to emphasize. Let's make sure people know.
No, that's their joke. It might not be true, but that's their joke.
That's their joke. Yeah, I lie.
It's true. It's true.
For example,
it's 100% true.
Whether it's true or not, at the end of the day, this is what, and they did this from back in the days of even colonialism, where they would say, "Oh, look, this is proof that he's 3/5 of a human being, because look, his appendages are like that of a beast." And then they'd be like, "Oh, ridiculing us and laughing at us. Look at our women's big bums and big breasts and hips. Look at the men's long appendages, and then everyone will bop off." Get me? And then one man will be like, or one gal will be like, yeah. Let me go back, and then that's how mulatto season come. Because we know the bed warmer thing was a real craze and a real sensation, and I don't think that they've ever let that aspect of RPR go. As in, when it's a black woman, and we fall into the trap.
Yeah, exactly.
Type in black excellence or black beauty, you're gonna see majority of women in swimwear.
Yeah.
I don't get why.
Yeah.
If you want to depict black beauty or African beauty, to show that a dark-skinned woman is beautiful, you have to show her hips and her breasts. I don't like that. I think it's overdone.
Another thing that I've seen as well is, like, for example, I was watching, there was a program, South Park, I'm sure everyone knows South Park, yeah? There was one episode where, what's his name, Cartman, his mum, was cheating. And the guy that is a cartoon. It's a cartoon, so they can make any color guy cheat with another man. They had to put a black man. So like all the time they're always putting like black men.
I hear that, but
do you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't like that. Me personally, I think like why do you have to like?
So why do you think they're doing it?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking you.
A point though. One thing though is that there's a lot of conversation around the over-sexualization of black women.
Yeah.
We've under-focused on the over-sexualization of black men.
It's true.
Yeah, because we've assumed that, or we've seen black men being sexualized alongside black women as the black men being in a position of power. Yeah. So like you got a hip hop video with a man. Yeah, surrounded by 20 women in bikinis, throwing money all over their bodies and that kind of things there. And we don't feel like that's a sexualized image of the black man, innit? But the idea is that the black man is consistently depicted as driven by his sexual desires and unable to function above that level. Always in pursuit of breast and batty, which is why the beautiful black woman can only be depicted in a bikini and that because that's what the men feel are supposed to think is beautiful.
She's a vicious circle still.
But listen, but just off of that, leaving apart the woman's side, we can see this thing of over-sexualizing the black man, has certain people feeling inferior, which is why
it feels even more
like a couple weeks ago in the park, we saw what we saw about comments of being a son of a because when it comes to their women folk, they feel like they're losing control over them because they're fetishizing. So I personally believe a lot of the racism from other cultures towards black men specifically is because of this inferiority complex that has been bred in.
That's been made by the media.
And let's not get it twisted. All of these things, all of these lies and misconceptions are based on realities. So I would say that the black man is definitely a very virile specimen when it comes to the human race.
That's right.
We know the black woman is, very fertile and her body is designed to encompass all the remits of reproduction. What it is they just try to bastardize our natural, given that we're very sporty. We're very sporty, we're very athletic. Doesn't mean that we were designed just to be running up and down for other countries to get medals and participate in their bread and circuses. That athleticism should actually that athleticism should actually be used for like freedom fighting, bro, and nation building and whatever. You get me?
There's another thing that I want to discuss.
We're just football players and basketball players with it.
Excuse me, I want to ask a question. I want to ask something that you mentioned, and I hope you don't take this the wrong way. It's not meant in any kind of a bad way, but as you were talking about sexual promiscuity, from the perspective of your people, as you say, your people, your women, what are you doing to combat your women? Like, and it's crossed over into all societies now, but when they're out and about, like twerking, daggering,
crossed over.
It's all disgusting. It's all disgusting.
Well,
it started off like a
like I said, one second. We get your point though. We get your point. I'm just gonna say, like we just said, all of these things start from authentic attributes of sets of people. So we are known as being very rhythmical and very music orientated and whatnot, and we know that we have certain dances, fertility dances and whatnot that go back into antiquity. Yet again, these things have been bastardized and over sexualized. Remember, just like we're talking about people being dressing half naked and stuff. People are half naked now. 1 second, sis. Listen. People are. I'm directly Yeah, people are half naked. Yeah, women are half naked, whatnot. Yeah, and we're looking at that as in a decline in morality.
Yeah.
However, if we go back in time, we can see that
they weren't
even wearing as much themselves, and there was a lack of it. So what it is, it's not about the practices, it's not about the acts, dancing, twerking, none of that. It's the over-sexualized psychology that's being pushed on society. Why I can take my top off now and it's going to be calm. No police or nothing can say nothing to me. And if a sister does it, that's nudity because she's showing her breasts. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a perversion inside of the psychology of man that is being pushed in society, rather than, oh, look at the actions of what we're doing to combat women twerking and blah 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 blah. Because women twerking is not the issue. It's how we're looking at women twerking and how then women twerking are looking at themselves. That is the main issue.
So it's not being.
You know what I mean?
What are you doing to combat it? Like, as men, I'm not talking about, like, for my community, I'm talking about the general. Like, when you're out somewhere, you're out in a nightclub, whatever, and this is going on, I would imagine you're kind of supporting it. So when someone comes up to you and bends over and she's doing all this and that, you're like, hey, instead of saying, you know what
we do to combat it is we also push alternative images.
Do you not say to them, look, why are you doing that? You're just repeating yourself.
Can you actually say that if you're in a nightclub?
We also push alternative images, and we all lean towards what we are attracted to. So for instance, you won't see me now in this stage of man I am now promoting women twerking, because to be honest, I think it's redundant. Do you know what I mean? But I will push a smart young woman that has something to say, or has a talent, or has this, or has that, or has got a business, or whatever. So it's all about what we give energy to. So my part in this is I don't give energy. Twerking to me is dead. It don't really do nothing for me. You get me? But everyone has their own thing. But you won't see me with women twerking in my videos. So that's the most I can do. And if each in every... Yeah,
the over-sexualization of women didn't start with black women as well.
They do it for the man.
Yeah, it didn't. You implied that the over-sexualization of women started with
and then it spread over.
It's not that. It's not where it started.
So where would you say it started?
I said the over-sexualization of women didn't start with black women.
No, I didn't say that.
You kind of did. You did.
Not what I
because you said it started and it's now started to spread over.
In regards to the twerking,
to the twerking.
Those dances.
But what about porn?
What
about porn?
South America, places like that.
What about porn?
Oh God, I don't even know.
Okay, so like porn stars, centerfolds, page 3. 1 second, sister. Porn stars, centerfolds, page 3, escorting, prostitution. In my eyes, when I'm looking at it, the sex trade and all these things, I'm seeing white women. I know black women are involved.
I agree with you.
I know black women are involved.
I agree with you. 100%.
Yeah, but I wouldn't dare to say.
But I'm not going to ask you about the white community because you're black. So what?
No. But I don't know. I don't think you understand what I'm trying to say to you. I'm saying that this is a symptom of society. So when you're talking about twerking, twerking is a new phenomenon. Yeah? But the moves of a woman shaking her bum is not new. No, it goes back into antiquity. So what is we got belly dancers also. What is the issue? It is the psychology behind how, one, we look at these women, and two, how we presume these women are looking at themselves. This is what the real issue is. So it's not about what any of us individuals do to support or to deny it. It's more, what is this psychology? What is this thought process? What is this perceived cheapening of self? And where is it stemming from?
Do you not think, though, if males in general, black males, white males, etc., were to actually speak out against such things, that maybe the women would start looking at themselves a little bit differently? Because ultimately, I don't see, to be honest with you, much of anything in regards to this kind of behavior, where it's like commonplace now to do all this kind of, like, you see little kids learning twerking now. It's wide. Well, it's wide. It's all community wide now. But you see little kids learning how to dance. They're being taught how to do a little twerk. Although it's not a big, huge, but it's a little twerk, like it's something that's like being.
Oh, did you want me to move back?
Back in the days, you know how many campaigns, how many protests, how many parents locked up their daughters for going out there with these long skirts and spinning around and showing half their legs off. Like, what the hell? This can stuff. This is disgusting. What is this? You're showing your undergarments. We can go back and back and back in time where people looked at certain practices as being, oh, Babylon, the end is nigh. The truth is, there's been a steady, gradual progression of of society, and that's what we need to look at. That's what I'm saying.
I agree with you, and I agree that they do.
Blues at one time was like the epitome of, oh my God, like this. It was the most debauched thing you could ever.
They call it the devil's music.
Sometimes some men, they do caution the women, try to speak to them in a very professional manner. For example, not only about the twerking, but even basic things like appreciating their natural hair.
Yes.
You know, stuff, okay? They say, no, it's my hair. I can't want to do my hair. So sometimes their attitudes and responses towards this thing which are quite negative. Some women, they're very dramatic. They don't want to listen to the advice. So you have those things going on as well. In that background.
I think that it's quite interesting what you're saying, just even about the hair as well, because in regards to, like, say you say like black women, they don't appreciate the hair. I personally don't see a problem with a black woman straightening her hair if she's only doing it because she likes the way it looks rather than hating on herself. Because most white women who curl their hair, they're not hating on themselves when they do it. Well, some white women hate their straight hair. They do. If they got really straight thin hair, they really dislike it.
Yeah, but
I don't know if you know that, but they really dislike it.
I mean, wigs and
but to do it because you feel like it's not it's a racial issue in regards to your hair. This is a shame. I think that's
when it comes to culture and stuff, some people do things that they collectively see.
Yeah.
So they don't know the motivational pivot of why people are doing something collectively, right? Just like the twerking, they don't know the history of it. They just see it do it. But as a black community, we definitely promote the sisters feeling comfortable to have their hair natural. So that's just thing. But just so you know, you join the conversation, and the conversation is about how black people are represented in the media. And I think I think twerking kind of goes in there as well, like how they record twerking, I guess.
Yes.
Right? That's right. Well, at the moment, well, how black people represented in the media. The next topic, if we can move on, is going to be what skills should black people learn, right? Like, what is a valuable skill black people can learn, black children can learn to help them go through? And that's what I want to do here, because I know you want to talk about it, right? So we're going to move on to that topic. If there isn't anyone else who wants to cover this topic we're on at the moment, the last one, about representation in black media. If not, we're going to move on to the next topic. Shall we move on? Are we good?
I would like to just say, to finish up on that.
Go ahead.
I did come in late, so I'm sorry if you've already said something on it. And that is that you can definitely see how black people are represented in the media, especially as them using like the music industry to portray black people, especially, and the youth in a particular manner. So it's just basically wanting to keep people down. They like to keep the majority of the people down. So they'll use whichever way, shape or form that they can. And they're using, the big thing is the music, is the hip hop industry. And I think there needs to be, for those of you that are involved in the hip hop industry, if you're doing videos, to kind of put out some videos with different messages. I'm not promoting music because from a Muslim perspective, we don't get involved in that, but I'm talking about from the perspective of non-Muslims and for, culture-wide, I should say, that you need to be putting out videos with better messages and less, like you say, sexualization.
Yeah, and before you did come, this is something we covered in great length, as in like, definitely we need to take control of that and try to split the artistic merits. So, there's different things they're talking about and also visually how things are seen. And that's where you kind of entered the conversation, right?
Okay, sorry.
So, but no, it's fine. But it is a good
valid
point.
question.
But one thing we would say that when you mentioned the twerking, one thing we wouldn't do is ridicule. Like, we wouldn't say nasty, disgusting and stuff, because one of the strategies is not to actually marginalize people with the language we speak.
Okay.
So even though we don't necessarily agree with this kind of behavior, we understand that we were young once and we were influenced by things once. So it's to give them something else to do and show them the value of what they have or what they might be showing that they shouldn't.
Provide an alternative.
Yeah, alternative. That's the. So that's what it is.
But then people are portrayed in the media in many ways. Like, look at Muslims. Muslims are portrayed in a bad way in the media. Black people are portrayed bad way in the media. And to be honest, like anyone that's coloured or comes from a religious
or considered other to the other.
For the top people or the elite people, they're always going to portray them in a bad way anyway.
Yeah.
So for everyone it's the same. Not just black people.
What you get now,
majority,
I found, in regards to, like, say, the Muslim community, is now you get Muslims in the media, in TV shows, being naughty.
Yeah.
So it's almost like to corrupt.
Here's what it is.
It's like the same thing, isn't it?
Here's the
It's
advice
like
I
corruption.
but here's the advice I can give to the Muslim community, right? You're gonna find corrupt Muslims, right? Of course. But the problem is, if you don't show Muslims as like your bog standard, normal, law-abiding Muslims, and all you show is a corrupt one, you're gonna paint a picture that all
Corrupt
Muslims
or
are.
over the top, yeah.
And that's the issue. So with
Exactly.
black people, it's that balance.
Same thing.
And
Same kind of thing, isn't it?
Now-
They show like the worst of of every culture. They seem to want to show that.
Exactly. So the solution I was giving for black people is you need to be in the kind of media like where you're writing this kind of stuff and have your own companies where you actually write your narratives. It's no different from the Muslim community. You want to be in it. You want to write your narrative. You definitely don't want a non-Muslim to be constantly writing about Muslims because they're not going to really know how it is, right? So that's what I would push forward. Do you know what I mean? So that's the thing. But the next thing is going to be.
What's your name?
Raven.
Raven.
Raven, the bird.
Raven.
The black
You're
bird.
Raven. Okay.
I'm Raven. Yes. That's the
I always ask because I want to know who's who when I'm on Hangouts. Who I know I'm
Oh,
talking to.
I'm Raven. Yes, I'm Raven.
Okay.
I don't know if I know you. What's
Alia.
Alia. I don't think I've seen you in Hangouts, but
Yeah, you
I'll look
probably
at.
have.
Okay.
Alia, maybe.
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 I'll check it. I'll check it.
Maybe.
But
Not on that often, but
the next topic we're going to ask is what should the next generation be learning from a black perspective?
Content over everything. From your melanin.
God, man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
So, fathers or teachers, what skills do we think are valuable for the next generation to learn?
Oh, I know exactly. A brilliant skill.
Look so bad.
Interacting with people.
So you think? Okay. So do you feel that there is a issue in the black community when it comes to interaction?
Oh no, in general. Sorry.
Well, here's what no. Maybe it might be.
How we interact with people in a good manner, in a good way. How if you notice in schools, they spend a lot of hours teaching you about geography, history.